Kings, queens, and the royalty in between. I'm in an apartment. I chatted with my family and told them I was getting serious about content creation, and they were like, hey, we're cool if you come up here and make content. And we talked all about it. And so now I have a little apartment that I will occasionally film in. Very nice. I do apologize that they're vacuuming in the hallway, tending to the apartment. I also am running the space heater for a little bit, so it'll click on and off. So sorry if that's noisy and very distracting. I will try to talk loudly. Okay, so in a YouTube short, I talked about connecting with spirit guides through music. I have been a spiritual coach, helping people spiritually awaken for the first time, connect with their spirit guides, and start the ascension process. So, one thing that I wanted to do was make a long form content about how to connect with your spirit guides, how to know who your spirit guides are, and everything in between. Of course, I am not the knower of all knowledge. If you are not drawn to any of these, that is perfectly okay. There is so many others out there for connecting with your spirit guides that you could look into. So in my short, I talked about music, but I want to start with what types of spirit guides are there and who classifies as a spirit guide? Okay, so the most common spirit guide that a lot of people have are deceased family members. When they pass over, they have the opportunity to become your spirit guide, either for a little bit or long term or your whole life. I have a few deceased family members on my spirit team. It's really common to have that happen, as they don't go to heaven or hell, they just go to Earth on the other side. But that will be a video for another day, because I can just feel the hate in the comments already. Secondly, now arguably, your ancestors. So not your recent family members, but like way, way back in the lineage. They aren't necessarily a spirit guide, but especially if you're the black sheep of your lineage, like I am, you might feel called to work with them and or just have them close by to have altars for them. I wouldn't classify them as a spirit guide, but you can definitely have them approach you throughout your lifetime. And it could be on your maternal and your paternal side. It just depends on your ancestry and kind of what cycles you're breaking and so on. Okay, so this group of higher powers is also not classified as a spirit guide, and we also recommend you don't treat them like spirit guides. But I definitely wanted to shout them out and put them in here because I've been working with them on and off for years, and that's the archangels. A lot of them don't classify as spirit guides, they're more just teachers, guardians, and protectors. But you might also feel called to work with them or just feel their presence in your space a lot depending on the path that you're taking, who you're working with, or maybe someday down the road you want to connect with them. They do tend to work a lot closer with a lot of people. They work closely with me on and off for years. So, again, not really a spirit guide, but I want to put them in there because a lot of people feel called to work with them, especially because most of you, myself included, started on the right hand path before going to the left hand. So, as we talk about the archangels, I also want to talk about guardian angels, not the archangels. They're typically of the heavenly hierarchy. They are on the lower part of the scale, but they are with you a lot. They can be with you 24/7. Most of them are omnipresent, so you're not really going to feel them or have them around you 24/7, which is perfectly okay. A lot of them just kind of step back and let you live your life, and then when you need help, you can just ask for verbal consent and then they'll enter it. So, with that, we also have fallen angels, the infernals, woo, the infernal divine, excuse me, and guardian daemons. They're kind of the same. Most of them are omnipresent. You won't feel them 24/7, but again, a lot of them, they kind of just let you live your life and just let you walk down paths and secretly guard, protect you, and watch over you when you're not looking. And can also protect you from sleep paralysis, one of my guardian demons I used to have, he communicated through sleep paralysis. So I don't fear sleep paralysis anymore because of it, but they can protect you, visit you in your dreams, help you. You can form a connection with them. A lot of them won't show themselves to you right away, but we'll get to that. And before I forget, a lot of spirit guides were people that walked the earth. A lot of you took the self deification path because you want to become a higher power. A lot of you took the ascension master path to also become a form of a higher power to teach others. But a lot of you have the opportunity to be a spirit guide if you so choose to be. So a lot of you have people that already rotated on Earth and have had multiple reincarnations here and learned a lot of lessons, mastered a lot of paths, and then they can circle of life, watch over the people of Earth, and then you can keep the circle of life going if you so choose to be a spirit guide. I don't know if I mentioned the deities in different pantheons. Uh, they're technically not spirit guides, and I would advise you not to treat them like spirit guides. A lot of the people that I mentioned in this video, I don't recommend you treating them like spirit guides. I would show them the utmost respect, do a lot of research, and don't just dive into things that you're half-assed with or that you don't quite understand, because a lot of these beings are long-term and or lifetime commitments. So definitely make sure you do your research before signing any pacts, taking any oaths, because a lot of them view pacts as law and oaths as law, and they hold it in high regard, and they'll hold you in high regard. So definitely make sure you do your research. Not fear mongering, not fear mongering, but definitely do your research. Now, we'll keep going. So, deities could be, they're typically not spirit guides, but they could definitely be in your space, or you might feel drawn to them out of nowhere. And a lot of you, your spirit guides will change, and that's perfectly okay. I am constantly changing, transforming, dying, being born again, metaphorically. So, I don't really know who's on my spirit team. I stopped asking years ago because my team changes so much that I just honor whoever comes forward when they come forward. So that might be the case for you. Don't take offense if your spirit guides are changing out. It's usually not because they don't like you. It's usually just because their energy, their presence, their wisdom, their knowledge is no longer serving you, and that's perfectly okay. So how do you connect with them? Well, most of the time you can just ask for your spirit guides. You have to ask for their consent to enter your life and start guiding you and helping you. So, what I did, I think I've talked about this before. You literally just sit in your car. You don't even have to hold anything. I held an amethyst crystal because I was really nervous because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. You literally just say, Spirit guides, I give you the consent to enter my life and start helping me and guiding me. A lot of them, they won't show themselves to you right away. They will tell you that they will show themselves to you when they are ready. Don't take that as an insult. It just means that you aren't at that place where you're ready to see them, because a lot of you, like me, you have religion trauma, the government, all these people, they try to betray all these higher powers a certain way and brainwash you into thinking that they're going to look a certain way and be a certain way. So when they show up differently for you, a lot of people panic, they get nervous, they're like, wait, am I calling on the wrong being? And that's just because of programming, and also because sometimes they ease their way into your life. Not all spirit guides are just gonna bust your door down like the Kool-Aid man. A lot of them are going to ease their way into your space. They're just gonna be gentle and kind of guide their way into your space, especially if you're like me and you didn't have anybody at the time that was spiritual that could like guide you, and you're literally walking into the unknown terrified as fuck. How they can show up for you. Okay, I'm glad no one asked. So the biggest way, it really depends on what gifts you have. It depends on what clairs you have. Clairsentience, which is feeling, clair-knowing, clairvoyancy, which is seeing in your mind's eye. You might see them, uh, see images of them, see pictures of them. They can send you them on your For You page. You might get clips of them and you're thinking, well, I didn't look them up, so I don't know why they're taking over my For You page. Now do be careful with the algorithm. We know that the algorithm is manipulative. Okay, so one of my biggest gifts is lucid and vivid dreaming. So a lot of times they will show up in my dreams. So when I'm dreaming, I will either see shadow people, I'll hear their name, I'll see like images of them. They don't tend to show up in their form. I just hear their name, or I'll see like a shadow person and I'll feel their energy while I'm sleeping. Some of them, you might feel an energy shift in the room when they're here. Uh, Pay attention to if you start getting drawn to, I have my notes here. If you get drawn to like certain types of animals, certain types of colors, certain types of time periods, and certain foods. Okay, especially like your ancestors. I don't know a whole lot about ancestral work. Sorry, I don't know a whole lot about ancestral work. One way that people connect with their ancestors is through food. So if you can figure out what your ancestral lineage looks like for instance, my dad is full-blooded Italian. A lot of the ancestors are Sicilian as well. So we use food to connect with them because they pass down recipes generation after generation. So we'll kind of make those recipes and look at other like authentic Italian dishes to make to honor them. So if you start getting drawn to like random foods out of nowhere, try to look up which higher powers like certain foods because some of them, favor certain foods. If they're like in the Egyptian pantheon, they might favor like what they cooked back in the ancient Egyptian times, stuff like that. Okay, so some of them can also send you physical things. So pay attention to if you start seeing coins on the side of the road and feathers. And not only feathers, but pay attention to what kind of feathers. This also goes into the animals. If you start seeing a lot more animals, you're drawn to a lot more animals, pay attention to what feathers you're getting because each colored feather means something different. And it also, like, red cardinals typically mean that a deceased loved one is around you. They either want to communicate or they just want to let you know that they are safe and that they are without pain or sickness on the other side. So if you start seeing a bunch of red cardinals everywhere, you start finding red cardinal feathers at your local park or something, that could be an indication of who's on your team as well. I just noticed there is a glare in my glasses. I'm sorry if that's annoying. I do move around a lot. But next up, we have angel numbers. Yes, everyone knows of angel numbers. I personally like to call them spirit numbers because more than just your guardian angel can send you numbers. Now, that's obviously like a new age opinion, I feel like, so take it or leave it. But pay attention to specific angel numbers. 111. Um, I had to think. So typically, now this is take this with a grain of salt because it'll be different for everyone. 1010 is God's number. So if you're seeing 1010 repeatedly, it's usually the heavenly realm that's asking to reach out. 1212 is 1212 typically means that you're in alliance in alignments. Woo! Sorry, team. With your highest path, or you're taking the steps to get you in alignment with your highest path. Now, 1111 is the spirit guide number. So if you're seeing 1111 repeatedly, that is your spirit guides directly reaching out to you and letting you know that they are there. Now, when you get into higher power work, a lot of them have sacred numbers. You know, some of them have certain angel numbers that they send over other ones. Like one of my goddesses, she sends me 333 a lot, or the number 13, or just threes in general, right? Some of them, they have 7 for a sacred number, repeated fives, so on and so forth. So pay attention to what numbers specifically that you're seeing. Okay. Also, looping back to colors. So, a lot of higher powers have specific colors that they use to communicate. As I said earlier, you might feel drawn to more like one color over another color. So, for example, Archangel Michael has like a bluish purple that he shows up as, and he also has a red aspect. So for me, he shows up as the color red. He wears red when he shows up for me clairvoyantly, and I get suddenly drawn to the color red out of nowhere. I want to wear red. I want to incorporate red into my home when he is reaching out. And a lot of you honor his blue and purple aspects because he's of fire and snow and ice. So a lot of people honor the blue and purple aspect of him, and they get drawn to blues and purples out of nowhere or want to start wearing those colors when he's reaching out. So that's an example of colors. Higher power is sending you colors to get your attention. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have music. As I talked about in my YouTube short, if you didn't go see it and you don't want to see it, I feel you. I'll just re explain everything here. So, I use music to connect with my spirit team and with higher powers. So, here's what it could look like. A lot of higher powers have specific artists, specific songs, specific genres that they really like. So, you can use those genres to connect with them. Or if you're deeply drawn to a genre for virtually no reason, could be that they're reaching out, could not be. Okay, not everything's a sign. That's spiritual psychosis, but we'll get into that in another video. Okay? Well, yeah. So, you're drawn to a certain music, you're drawn to a certain artist out of nowhere. Or when you feel like a being's in your space, you might get messages on your For You page that are like, yeah, listen to this song, listen to this artist. It'll help you connect with their energy and it'll help you understand them a little bit better when you're connecting with them. It can also look like if you are in the car on your way to work or the grocery store and you're driving and you're intently focusing on driving, because let's be honest, we all do that. And you're intently focusing, and all of a sudden you just randomly tune in when the song changes. There's a message in that song for you. Same thing if you're like driving and it's the middle of the song and then there's like a part in the song that you randomly tune into and then tune out of, that's also a message. That's also clairaudience, which I will happily make videos talking about the clairs if you so choose to want that. But, oh, and the biggest one they just reminded me of, if you have a playlist or if you want to curate a playlist, bunch of different artists, bunch of different genres, get creative. Or if you already have a playlist, fantastic. Ask your spirit guides. Say, spirit guides, I am going to shuffle my playlist 3 times. And may the third song be a message for me through music or something like that. Shuffle your playlist 3 times. There's your message. A lot of your spirit guides will use music to communicate with you, especially if you're like me. I am not obsessed with music, but it's daily. I'm listening to music every single fucking day. Okay? So, I music all day, music all night. That's just how I am. So they use music to communicate with me because they know that I'm going to stop and I'm going to listen to some music throughout the day. So that's how they get my attention, is drawing me to certain songs or shuffling my playlist a certain way. Oh, side note, you can also use divination. You can get into divination methods, which up to but not limited by tarot cards, pendulums, and divination boards. Divination boards, you don't really need them, but you can have them if you want them. Copper rods, smoke scrying. If you want to learn smoke scrying, some of my higher powers got me into smoke scrying. You can also do mirror scrying. You can get like a black mirror or like a piece of black obsidian that's clear and you can just gaze into it. You can do various divination methods to get their attention or get messages from them as well. It does work. You gotta kind of be a little in tune with your intuition though. So you gotta sit with your intuition and you gotta be like, what do I think that they would give me for advice right now? Or what are they trying to give me advice? And what am I seeing? And how's that actually gonna help me? Team, I forgot about dragons. How dare I forget the dragons? The serpents, the fairies and fays. For some of you, the sirens and the mermaids. Yes, they're all real. Unicorns, stuff like that. They can also be spirit guides. A lot of this applies the same way. If you're randomly drawn to dragons out of nowhere, like doing research on them, incorporating them into your home, I have a little bit of an altar for the dragons because they've done a lot for me over the years. I also have a dedication altar to the owls. It's in storage, but I have a little dedication for them too. Uh, so that can also apply for you. What else? Honestly, team, I think that's I think we'll call it there. If there's anything else that I forgot, I can either do a second video or I can just YouTube short it. So I hope that this video helped. I hope that you vibed with me for a second. I know I'm a little all over the joint, but it's fine. It's fine, right? Anyways, I hope this finds you alive and well. And I hope that you guys are doing okay. It is 30 degrees. It's the last day it's supposed to be 30. We're getting our fall spring or our full spring. So it's going to be in the 50s and 60s all next week. Pray. Pray that it is. Um, yeah. Have a great day, team. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.